In September 2024, I cycled over 1,400 kilometres down the Rhine River for 3 weeks to explore how local actions to restore and protect the river can benefit our ocean. Join me on this 9-part series where I explore different topics with local people along the river that are driving positive change. At just over 1,000 kilometres into my cycle, I reached Cologne, where I met with Christian Stock, the co-organiser of Germany's largest Rhine CleanUp group, during their biggest day of action on the Rhine. The Rhine CleanUp is a coordinated action across the Rhine River and its tributaries that brings people together from all of society to do their bit for the river and the ocean.
So what we're doing today is the Rhine CleanUp. This is a day once in a year where every community from Switzerland to the Netherlands, which is located on the Rhine, collects trash. This is what we do, cleanup. And Cologne is the biggest city on the Rhine, so we need the biggest cleanup room. And that's what we do today. We have around 300 people who go and collect all waste.
As a citizen of Cologne, Christian is motivated for positive change in his neighbourhood.
Every gram that we collect is 1 gram less that goes into the ocean. Maybe we save a whale at the end of the day, who knows?
Yeah.
So it gives a good feeling. Maybe, we save the world a tiny little bit.
As we walked along the beach, surrounded by multiple generations of people who live along the banks of the Rhine River, we picked up cigarette butts and packaging that have made their way down the river, headed for the ocean.
What we collect today is anything. Some light stuff, some wrappings, for example, barbecues, cigarette butts. This is what we find most all over the world. It could also be a marine waste. We have many ships that go here, and we find fishing nets and ropes. We also find industrial waste. For example, microplastics. Those nurdles, the nurdles. They come from fabrics, from chemistry, and we have much of chemistry here around Cologne. I have some tiny little bags with all those nurdles inside. But the location and the Rhine kilometer and when I found it, so I can prove it. Spoiler, we have it anyway. And not only here on the Rhine, also on the North Sea, on the Mediterranean Sea, all over the world.
Currently, the International Commission for the Protection of the Rhine, or the ICPR, is working towards standardised monitoring of microplastics on the Rhine, but in the meantime, local citizens have already started this work.
It's a small problem, but it gets bigger. It gets bigger and bigger, because the nurdles, they float on the surface, and if we have a tiny fish, it eats the nurdle, and the tiny fish gets eaten by a bigger fish. At the end, it's us, and we have this on our plates.
Christian Stock is also the founder of the KRAKE, a waste collection unit in the Rhine River which collects data on the types of waste flowing down the river.
This is Germany's first and only litter trap, built by us.
Oh, cool.
This is the Rhine Krake. Like a ship, like a platform made of steel, and it is always on the same place. And it collects all the plastic waste which goes from the surface of the Rhine into our litter trap. We have the 2 cages inside, and all the waste goes inside, and every 2 weeks we go there by boat and empty all those cages. And what we find inside, we count. There is a monitoring, a study with a university in Bonn, and each item is counted and weighed and put into different categories. So we can tell how much waste goes with the Rhine to the North Sea, and what kind of waste. This is interesting. This is a number that no one ever had before.
Like many of the people I spoke with during my cycle down the Rhine, Christian is motivated to do his part for society and the environment by recognising our connection with nature from source to sea.
Responsible for what he does in the world. Everything we do has an effect on something. And it's a question of education. If your parents don't tell you, please don't drop your wrappings or something, you don't know it, and you don't have this relationship to the nature. And of course, it's also the communities, the politics. I always had a good relationship to nature. I grew up somewhere else, not here in the city, I grew up in the landscape in a tiny little village, but there was always a relationship to animals. I love animals. I think we have a responsibility. Everybody in Western Europe, for example, has a responsibility. And I don't want that sea animals, marine animals, will die because our waste. This is so unnecessary. Yeah. Why I'm doing this.
So you're kind of motivated also by the global thinking of not just the river, but the ocean,
Yes,
but the whole system.
Of course.
That's cool.
When I collect trash on the riverside here in Cologne, I always think about whales or sea turtles or something. They are not here, but I know our waste goes to the North Sea, through the Atlantic Ocean, and our plastic bag gets into the stomach of a sea turtle, for example.
Yeah.
Despite the efforts by local groups and organisations, there are challenges ahead for our rivers and seas that need to be tackled at all levels, particularly by those in charge of global decision making. You can tune in next time to hear about the challenges facing our rivers and ocean in the near future and about how source-to-sea management could help to resolve these.